Hello everyone, the 316 LEGO Maniac 316 here. I'm back with another weekly Monday Lightning Collection review. This time it is of the Wave 1 S.P.D. Shadow Ranger, originally retailed for $19.99. I found this guy a few months ago at my local Walgreens, which is also where I found Beast Morphers Gold. I'm not saying you'll find luck at a Walgreens, but you might as well take a look. Sometimes they carry old stock, sometimes they don't. So look there if you feel like it. Anyway, let's take a look at the accessories. We have a fisted hand. We have a two fingers pointing hand, which is one of the gestures he made in the show. You also have the hand where he's holding up one finger and his thumb is a little bit outstretched. And he's got a holding hand for his Shadow Saber. He's also got the Morpher. But the issue is they printed it on the wrong side. So it should be printed on this side, but they messed it up. So all of them are like this. None of them have the printing on the proper side. So that's unfortunate, but with this being a Wave 1 figure, I'm willing to give it a little bit of leeway. It was the first thing where they released, so there was going to be issues. And probably my favorite head sculpt of the line still is Anubis Doggy Kruger. It's just a gorgeous head sculpt. And you also get a little neck attachment. You put it in with the more rounded side. I don't know why it's not focusing. There you go, the more rounded side downward. And it is painted a bit lighter blue on the front, so you know that that's how it lines up. I'll put that on later, just showing you up front. Lastly, you also get the Shadow Saber. And you get an effect piece to go on the Shadow Saber. This will be reused, but in a different color, for In Space Silver, who hasn't technically been announced, but has been known about for a while, and was released on Pulse not too long ago. Good little piece there. I'll go ahead and get the Shadow Saber out of the way so we can take a better look at this. It is painted red here on the, like right above the wolf mouth. And again, sorry about the focusing. There you go. It's not painted silver anywhere. This is probably the least amount of paint I've seen on a weapon, because you get the black and then you got the red. Otherwise, just dark gray. It looks okay. But finally, let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. And, for a first wave figure release, I think they started off okay here. It's a good figure. We haven't really had a Shadow Ranger at this scale with such good molding. The sculpting and mold work is really well done here. And if I can get him to stand properly, there we go. You can see he's got a presence, He's not small. He's got the right amount of gravity towards him, something to draw him in. I will say I'm not a big fan of like this area, but it's okay. I think the biggest downside of this figure is if you look at the box, you can see like silver here, silver there, and then there's a little strip of silver there and a little bit of red here. Basically, they didn't paint anything on the arms. Like, the only thing they painted was the nice shiny bluish color. That's it. There's no other paint. No silver here, no red here, no silver there, or no silver there. So if you get this figure, you're going to want a silver paint marker. They also missed some silver paint up top here. And if you want, you could paint that too. But yeah, I do plan on getting a silver marker in the future and just going over this lightly just to not overdo it. What is nice, though, is that they did continue the 100 all the way down, even to this part of the leg, if I can show it. Yeah, they continued it all the way down. Although I wish that we could have got paint everywhere else if we could get rid of that. Like, it shows up in the knee joint, but it doesn't show up down here unless you're looking for it. And these are rubberized pieces, and they're painted okay. Again, they use the dark gray plastic rather than the silver. It's okay, just eh. And then up here, you got to place his Shadow Saber. So that goes in with the tip towards the top. And that goes all the way in, and it's a nice snug fit. It does have a little bit of looseness, but it's not going to be shaken out of there or falling out anytime soon. It might scratch the red paint, although I haven't had that issue, so just be careful of that. It might scratch the red paint. But again, I haven't had the issue, and you shouldn't either, but it's always nice to be concerned about it. Another good thing here with the belt is that it's free moving, so you can actually move it up to expose the joint or down to conceal the joint. So it doesn't have to be stuck in one spot like a lot of the rest of these figures are. I will say that the paint that they did put on this figure is well done. It's a little sloppy in places, but again, first wave figure, but not bad. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the head here. That is a really well done head sculpt. They painted in the black here so that you can see some of the detail, but that should be a silver logo like the other S.P.D figures are. And then the back of the figure, very bland, very basic. What do you expect, you know? So let's go ahead and take his head off. It can be a little challenging. So what you want to do is you take your figure, you take your little piece here, and then you just shove that as far down as you can. Don't overdo it. And then I usually do this off camera because it's easier. I don't have to reach around the camera. You just shove his head onto the ball joint. And there you go. Now you have him with his civilian head. Although I don't think we've ever seen him in the show with a civilian head on the actual morphed suit. We only ever see him in his, commander suit. But anyway, it's really nice. I mean, it's exactly what you'd expect, and I think that head sculpt is still one of the best in the line. Like, that's probably the strength of this figure, the biggest strength. The head sculpt is fantastic. Although the eyes are a little wonky, but it's a really good head. Just looks really nice. It works really well. And then I haven't been able to do it, but then you can have him hold his helmet in place there, and it looks good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the box, and then I'll do some size comparisons with some of the other S.P.D figures. One point I'd like to point out here is that sometimes I have issues with this foot. Like, this foot's either too far forward or too far back. I can't really find the appropriate positioning for it. So I have to bend back on the knees to get him to stand properly. So here's the box. As you can see, it's a lot better painted on this, unfortunately. There's the back legalese. Here's the side here, and it says S.P.D up there. Here's the front. And this does have that weird bit of assorted number on top here. Just like Beast Morphers Gold in Wave 2. S.P.D Shadow Ranger, he's got red on the inside. Here's the side, and it does have the lightning bolts. And then there's the bottom and the top. Alright, let's go ahead and do a size comparison real quick then. Doing this with the civilian head, but with the masked head, it's about the same height, maybe a little taller with the civilian head. So let's start with the previously reviewed figure, Omega. And he's just a touch shorter. And then we also have S.P.D Blue, which should be the next review unless one of my pre-orders gets in. Go ahead and do this. So he stands at about 6.5 inches tall with a civilian head, and of course these guys stand at just to 6 inches. So this figure, it has its issues. If you're willing to overlook them, I'd say it's absolutely worth it. I think this is a really good start to the line. You might have trouble finding this figure though, as again it's from 2019, so it's starting to get a little bit old, but it's well done for what it was, and it really showcased what the line could do, like, I mean, look at the difference 2 years makes. I mean, obviously it's not a Ranger on the right, but I mean, it just shows to you how well they can design and produce these figures. So if you find him, if he's at a good price, if he's on sale, absolutely buy him. If you like S.P.D, of course you should buy him. It's the best Shadow Ranger we've ever gotten. Anyway, I think that concludes this review. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. And thanks for watching. Peace.